Planned Parenthood, friend or foe? There is a controversy in this country over the ethics and morality of abortion. In the last year, there has been a renewed call to defund Planned Parenthood because of this controversy. Despite this controversy, there are still people who support Planned Parenthood. These people recognize that there are several reasons why Planned Parenthood should not be defunded. I believe Planned Parenthood should not be defunded because there are negative repercussions for public health, they provide essential health services for women and men everywhere, and they provide jobs to hundreds of employees. Personally, I utilize Planned Parenthood. As a low-income student, Planned Parenthood has been providing my contraceptive for almost 10 years. Without Planned Parenthood, I would most likely not be able to afford birth control. Planned Parenthood has also served as my primary gynecologist since I am on state-funded insurance. Women deserve access to reproductive health services. Planned Parenthood provides so much more than abortion services. The essential reproductive health services Planned Parenthood provides are not always readily accessible, which is why Planned Parenthood is necessary. 1/5 of counties that have a Planned Parenthood clinic do not have any other clinics that offer family planning services. This shows that Planned Parenthood serves a lot of clients and there are areas where there aren't any alternatives. An example of an incident where there were no alternatives for Planned Parenthood was in Scott County, Indiana, where there was a sudden demand for HIV testing after 180 people were found to have HIV. However, the only testing center in that area had been closed in 2013 due to a campaign against Planned Parenthood. This, of course, meant that there was no way to get tested for HIV in this county. Despite the fact that Planned Parenthood's reproductive health services are not accessible enough, some people believe that Planned Parenthood clinics are unnecessary. The fact is that even though Planned Parenthood clinics are only 10% of all family planning clinics, they serve 40% of clients seeking those services. This proves that even though there aren't very many clinics in total, only about 700 nationwide, they serve a vast amount of people who require reproductive health services. A lot of hate and criticism Planned Parenthood receives is because they perform abortions. Regardless of your personal opinions regarding abortion, it is not possible to stop every woman from getting the procedure if they are unprepared to have a child, no matter what programs are defunded. Thousands of women die from unsafe abortions per year, and defunding Planned Parenthood would make getting abortions even more difficult and likely increase the number of deaths. The funding of Planned Parenthood allows the organization to provide many essential services to low-income and uninsured women and men, which is yet another reason why they shouldn't be defunded. These services include STD testing, providing contraceptives, and cancer screenings. In fact, 75% of Planned Parenthood services are STD testings and treatment and contraceptives. Planned Parenthood has programs to provide contraceptives for free or at almost no cost to the patient. This is a very important thing to consider because in 2009, 25% of women 18 to 64 years old were uninsured. These uninsured women have nowhere else to go to get reproductive health services at an affordable price. Even in counties where there were no other clinics that provided, these clinics did not see nearly as many patients as Planned Parenthood. This proves that Planned Parenthood provides essential services to low-income and uninsured women and should not be defunded. Defunding Planned Parenthood would more than likely cause the organization to fall apart. This would cause hundreds of employees out of work and about 600,000 patients needing a new place to receive health services, if they can even afford to go anywhere else, and likely lead to thousands more unplanned births. Most of the people who argue that we should defund Planned Parenthood are the same people that we should keep jobs in the United States. This would directly affect many people who work at Planned Parenthood, as well as the people who utilize their facility. The main argument of opponents of Planned Parenthood is that Planned Parenthood provides abortion services. Abortion services should not cause Planned Parenthood to lose its funding because abortion is only 3% of all services that Planned Parenthood provides. Not only that, but there are some Planned Parenthood clinics that do not even provide abortion services but will still be defunded. An example of this is the clinic in Scott County, Indiana that I talked about. It was closed down in 2013 during the first campaign against Planned Parenthood, and it did not even provide abortion services. If the fact that Planned Parenthood provides abortion services is the only argument a person has, then they should be able to accept keeping the clinics that do not provide abortion services open simply because the other services they offer, such as STD testing, cancer screenings, and access to contraceptives, are very important. If someone against Planned Parenthood is concerned about federal funding because they don't want their tax money going towards abortion, then they don't need to worry. Planned Parenthood does not use any of its federal funding for abortion services. Recently, Planned Parenthood was in the spotlight during the current presidential elections. Our soon-to-be president, Donald Trump, was very vocal on his feelings towards Planned Parenthood and abortions. He feels that Planned Parenthood does a good job in aspects of reproductive health services, but ultimately should be defunded because they also provide abortions. Trump is pro-life, if you haven't already guessed. His Vice President, Mike Pence, is also against Planned Parenthood. In fact, many people started donating to Planned Parenthood in his name so he would receive recognition. It is a real concern about the future of Planned Parenthood. Many women decided after the presidential election it was safe to get an IUD, which is an intrauterine device that protects from pregnancy for 3 to 10 years, depending on which one you get, in case Planned Parenthood is defunded, thus unable to provide contraceptives. Overall, the defunding of Planned Parenthood needs to be fought against for several reasons, including the negative repercussions for public health. These are the reasons why Planned Parenthood should keep its federal funding. This funding allows the organization to continue providing reproductive health services while the costs to provide these services are rising. If they do not have this funding, then more clinics will have to close simply because they cannot afford to continue providing these services. This will have a large impact on the accessibility of contraceptives and STD testing for both men and women. We need to end the campaign against Planned Parenthood before it impacts reproductive health care for men and women of this country. I have also included 2 visuals. One is a photo that says 1 in 5 women in the U.S. has visited a Planned Parenthood center at least once in her life. And the second is a diagram that shows the services that Planned Parenthood provides. And as you can see, 42% of all the services is STD testing and treatment, 34% is contraception, 11% is other women's health services, 9% is cancer screening and prevention, 3% is abortion services, and 1% is other services. Thank you so much.